Good day, everyone. Good day, good day. As you can see in the title, I just get hold of some entertainment news. YouTube saying that the Philippine current Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte is going to announce her run for presidency in 2028. Can you just imagine how this thing is turning out to be? Corrupt, ineffective, and you know, the only reason she's going to run for presidency is revenge. She might be telling you that she's not into revenge. I don't think so. That's the Filipino way of life. You cannot help but think that they have made that decision because to them and the people surrounding him, the Duterte is, you know, the only way that they can pass through life is by you know uh, being president. In effect, the Filipino people, most of them are gullible. Most of them are easily convinced that Duterte would save them from damnation. For a start, none of these people in their group is an economist. None, none of them are good in making the Philippines work, or worse, making infrastructure work. When you have people surrounding her who are also as corrupt as her, things will not be good for the Philippines. Philippines is going from bad to worse. You also have, you know, people like the Kibuloy who they think is uh, is innocent, but he is one of the most devious, evil person on earth. Yet they think that he can go ahead and make his day. I cannot imagine the Philippines are going down the drain because of people like them going back to what they were doing before. I don't think Kibuloy will be prosecuted if Sara Duterte wins. It's as simple as that. And she has no trait of presidency. She has no trait, she has no capability in whatsoever manner or form to be willful and strong in her decision making. And whatever the opposition is trying to do, as bad as she is, it's just the kind of flip side, heads or tail, Philippine loses. Because both of these people, group of people, are all corrupt. What is the best thing to do? Find somebody who's not corrupt. Find someone who, because his principles and belief is that he cannot bring wealth or money or anything to his grave. Find that person. Find a person who knows how to run a country. People who knows what finances and finances and manage the finances and the economy of the Philippines. Find somebody who can bring solutions to floods, to uh, uh, building more hospitals bridges, and schools. Find somebody who can have a strong will in deciding the fate of Philippine sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. Not Marcoleta. Marcoleta, mind you, is a good man. Just is that he's demented. He has dementia. He thinks that traditions are lost, which is of course not correct. He because he was able to talk to the politicians from China. He thinks that he can make China aware that he's on their side and not the Philippine side, or maybe vice versa. Whatever he's doing is just, it's flipping coins, and you don't know if he comes out like this or that on the day he's going to be in promulgating his words mouth. Sometimes it's eloquent, eloquently stupid, and sometimes he's just dumbass in his pronouncements. To some people, you may think that he's best, but I he's a dubious character. I would never ever give him a chance for any presidency or whatever. So why I am doing this? Why I'm is there's no sense of direction in the Filipino people. The politics talk. Nothing is being done. Nothing is being curtailed of accountability from the politicians who have ransacked government, from Waldes for one, and then you have the Marcos for two, and all the rest of them. You know them. You know who they are. Get nothing, no will to. If I were president, my God, very first day I would be in office, I'll round up all these people. I'm not going to kill them. It's too easy. I will round them up, and they will be re-educated in the camp that I would establish. Everybody who's in that, a rapist, a politician who's corrupt, everyone should be. Even a taxi driver who's charging uh, extra, or a tricycle driver who's charging extra, or somebody going to be uh, a headache, or a police character, or anybody who's doing some stupid stuff will go to that. Now, the second day, I will cancel departments like Commission on Elections, like the Ombudsman. There's no point in doing things like that. PCGG or whatever other governmental agencies there are. I will simplify government departments and agencies to only six. One of the department I'll be instituting is Department of the Poor. Since there are 11 million poor in the Philippines, we will have to create that department just to alleviate suffering of the 11 million people. Then we have instead of Department of Defense, we will Department of Armed Forces. Now, armed forces could be the offensive war or defensive war department. I mean, agency. Then you get there will only be one. Every, since there's so many people dipping their fingers on the pot of money, there would only be one governmental uh, agency to do that. It's not the treasurer, it's not the finance, it's not the economy. It's called the Philippine Business Office. Everything will go to them. Ethics problem, I mean, they want money for this and that. That department will issue the money to not anybody else, anyone. No politician will ever get hold of that. The money will come from that department and nothing else. The president, Supreme Court, the legislative, anybody will go through that department and that will be accounted for. And then you also have to have, you know, way of income. Income is very much different from if you build. There are more mall malls in the Philippines than hospitals and other other things. Got to stop that trend. We have to have increased income on our part because if you have all these uh, department stores and all that, guess what? The money that you're spending goes to your foreign, you know, franchise holders, Starbucks, Star- Starbucks, Forever 21, all the Shakey's. All of these people are from outside the country, so your money's going up. We'll stop that. We'll stop importing rice. Period. No ifs, buts, and whatever reason you have. Stop that. Now, the other thing that we will be instituting is that free free healthcare for everyone, no matter, no matter. If you are a private entity and you don't get you say for example, uh, Manila Doctors Hospital, St. Luke's Quezon Medical Center, and whatnot, they should allocate 10% of their beds to the population of the Philippines, no questions asked. Those doesn't matter who that person is, and that person you only show you one ID, Philippine ID. That's it, and there will be three major hospitals that everyone, a government hospital, everyone, three regions: North Manila, South Mindanao, and Visayan. These hospitals will cater to everyone. You will never be refused there. You will never pay a single penny. You go to that hospital. Excuse me. Now, what else? Armaments, war. Notice that every time the Philippine government buys armaments, a boat, an aircraft, or a land tank, are all a waste of money. You know why? They're from 30 years ago. They're obsolete or uh, slightly new, but they are not the top of the line. Now, in order for us to make current our army, we will institute our own armaments department. Ooh, we have the technology. We have the know-how. We have people who are smart enough to build all this stuff, but they're not being used. We'll get that. Now, instead of fighting this Duterte's, Marcoses, and everybody else. They all, if somebody one wins, the other will be I will be cowing because this guy who won will be doing revenge, and that revenge stagnates the government, stagnate uh, the people's ability to move forward. We would like to be just like everybody else in the region. At least in that region, we still are able to compete with them. I I happen to have traveled to um, some of the countries in Asia. Hong Kong. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to South Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. My nephew's wife is from uh, Vietnam, Da Nang. My goodness. Remember, up until 1975, 74, that place in Vietnam was devastated by a war. And look at them now. They have, my goodness, we are getting left behind by this country. Whereas we didn't have any war, we didn't have any turmoil. But look at where we're going. Nowhere. Because we don't have infrastructure. We don't have industries like agriculture, rice, sugar cane, hemp. Everything is being wasted because we're now getting used to imports. That's why on the first day, everything will stop. Nothing will cross the border. And I don't care if I run over all these business entrepreneurs, or mostly Chinese and foreigners, in order because they will have they will have a hard time in getting all this uh, getting all these products inside the Philippines, because even if they get inside the Philippines, we'll throw them away. That's the only way I can tell you. Now the other thing is that we will we will institute. I remember we were a front line in Rice Research Institute. Of course, it was even in Los Baños development that they started. Whatever happened to the Research Institute? Whatever happened to vast number of lands that we have, and none of them are being cultivated? I will create a program that everyone will be will be much more inclined to do agriculture and rice and and other products than anything else. You will we will create manufacturing things, homegrown, uh, both in electronics and non-electronic stuff. We will and we can because we have technology, we have the know-how. Filipinos are working outside the Philippines right now in technology related businesses, and yet they cannot use that when they get to the Philippines because they don't have you know the the infrastructure to do that. Now we can make chips for iPhones at least comparable to those that are being made by Western countries, and we will have technologies too that we can uh, build battery operated or alternative uh, fuels on cars, and we know how to do it. It's not only lithium that that can move a car. There are other things, and they are available to us. So in essence, do not do not do the same things, same mistakes we've been doing for the past 100 years, because corruption will always be there. Corruption will always be there because it's been institutionalized. It's become an art and a science. So the only way you can do that is to get rid of everybody, re-educate all of them, and once they are ready to move on to a better government government position, then we can let them handle positions in government. But in the meantime, everybody, and I mean everybody, has to go through thorough, a thorough, uh, search, both mental, physical. And if these current people were in government right now, some of them, grandfather used to say, you don't go by, you don't go by their political alignment. You go by their personal will to commit uh, corruption, because it's not by political affiliation. It's by personal decision making, and it's not only one, but everybody else who will also do that. One person cannot do it in major corruption scandal. It has to go to, like for example, the current situation. They're parading all these Marines who were dropping off the luggages of supposedly money to this place. Yet they don't ask the people who made the decision to get that money from somewhere, who made the decision to put them inside luggages, the money, who made the decision to also make decision making as to who will get what. They didn't investigate the people. What I'm saying is that the masterminds are scot free. They should all be accountable for, or maybe they're waiting until something will happen. It's the it's the problem of it's don't worry, it's it's mine. Don't worry, he's mine. I'll take good care of him. Things like that. When you have corruption, don't work. You have to have a zero tolerance of corruption, of anything got to do with defrauding government and its entities. And yet we can do that. Yet we can do that. Philippines can do it, but you have to choose a person that will make drastic decisions in order to make Philippines move forward. I can do that. Yet I'm not an actor. I'm not popular. Nobody knows me. I'm not corrupt 100%. See, my principle has been with whatever my grandfather told me. You don't you don't accumulate things you can't bring when you die. See, you don't even need clothes when you die because you cannot use that. See, so why should I? Right now, I'm a retiree. I have enough to survive. I have a house. I have I have my own health care. I have a small amount of money I can spend every month. That's all. I don't need any much more than that because I'm not able to bring that when I die. So listen to me carefully. Do not vote for anybody who's less than a person who can make the Philippines great. And not only in words, not a person who will be doing revenge or anything of that sort, or anything because they need to be because somebody else told them that they need to do it. Okay, I think I've said enough for today. Have a good day, everyone. Enjoy your day or night.